Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Our World here on Horror Fiend TV. As you can tell, I am no longer in a ship in the deepest corners of space, but back in our home world. As the next few episodes, we are going to look at films. Well, we have visitors from another world come into our beautiful planet. But before we talk about the film we're going to talk about, let us look at the town that this film takes place in. Nome, Alaska is an isolated region near the Bering Sea, and the only mode of transportation in is with a plane. But once you are in Nome, well, the only way out is waiting for that next flight to come. From 1960 to 2004, 2 dozen residents disappeared from this small town. The residents wanted answers. It was even thought that the disappearance of these townfolks was possibly connected to a serial killer with a population under 4,000 residents. What happened with the disappearance in Nome? Well, it led to what our film is going to talk about.
I wake up in the middle of the night almost every night.
There's nothing unusual waking you up.
There's one thing. There's an owl at my window.
4, 3, 2. Tell me about the owl.
Doesn't look like a normal owl.
There's no owl. It's not an owl.
There was more fear in his eyes than I've ever seen in my life.
What's wrong?
There are more missing people in Nome than any other town in Alaska.
I have to get this out of my head because it's dug in there and I can't think straight.
Scott.
Scott.
Oh, God. We gotta send backup now.
What'd you see? You were there!
I can't explain it.
Someone or something.
The fourth kind finds us in the center of investigation by Dr. Abigail Tyler. While treating some of the residents, she noticed a trend among her patients: unable to sleep, disturbing images, and blackouts, as well as a mysterious owl that seemed to be watching them from outside the window. One resident in particular, Tommy, offers her a glimpse into what is to come with his ordeal as he holds his family hostage, and he demands that he talks to Abigail. After unsuccessfully convincing him to let his family go, Tommy pulls the trigger on his wife and his 2 kids before committing suicide. After unsuccessfully convincing him to let his family go, Tommy pulls the trigger on his wife and his 2 kids before committing suicide. This incident puts Abigail in the spotlight as Sheriff August wonders what exactly was the reasoning for Tommy to kill himself and his wife and kids. Now, there is animosity between Abigail and Sheriff August, as Abigail blamed the sheriff for the unsolved murder of her husband. And this animosity adds another layer to this film. At the point of this film, things begin to escalate as Sheriff August believes that this hypnosis that Abigail is doing on her patients is a trigger into the behaviors of what is to come. However, after experiencing a couple of unique moments with a couple of our other patients, Abigail soon starts to believe, well, that there's maybe something not from this world. That is the reasoning for the disappearances of the people in the town of Nome. In the opening sequence of this film, Milla Jovovich introduces herself as the actress portraying Abigail Tyler. Her monologue explains that the making of this film contains some of the audio and video of the actual events that happened in the town of Nome. Now, at the end of her monologue, she states that it is up to the audience to come to their own conclusion as to what exactly happened. Now, I have to admit, this is a very clever way to begin a film. To have an actress actually come out and tell you that she's portraying this character and lay the foundation of what is to come in this film. Now, if you don't know me by now, I'm a massive found footage horror fan. The fact that this film had supposedly actual audio and video of the events that happened. Now, we also get moments in the film where we get a split screen, where we get the actor portraying the character to the right and the actual audio and video of the person they're portraying on the left. This is a very unique way to make a film because now you believe it even more and you start questioning exactly what happened to these people. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did a found footage film with my boy Ricky Grimes called Savage Land. What Savage Land does that this film did as well, you start actually getting more enticed into knowing what exactly happened to the point where you actually grab your phone, pause the movie, and start looking at Google to see if these events truly happened, which is always a good sign that the film was well done. Overall, the performance of the cast was great. Milla Jovovich playing Abigail Tyler and Will Patton playing Sheriff August were perfect polar opposites of one another. Yeah, one scene in particular where one of the cops is stationed outside of Abigail's house as she's under house arrest. And even though he presses record on the camera, all of a sudden he starts looking up into the sky and you see the UFO coming. Now, at this point in the film, it escalates even more because Abigail's daughter gets taken. And this causes August to become more infuriated exactly what is going on with Abigail. The end credits of this film, you actually get actual audio of people calling in UFO sightings. This is a good way to end a film and push people to make a concrete kind of decision of what side they stand on. Are you a believer or are you a non believer? Do you think there's aliens or do you think this is the government? This is why at the beginning of this film, she tells you, make your own conclusion. Now, for me, Fourth Kind is a very good film. It has its flaws. It's not a perfect film, but for what it is, the fact that you have these things that possibly happen, and you have a small town that still to this day cannot solve what happened to the 2 dozen townsfolk that went missing. And like myself, Ricky Grimes, and Joe Psychologist always talk about, does a film continue to stand the test of time? Yes, Fourth Kind does. It is a good film. Watch it. It's currently streaming on my favorite channel, Tubi. But yes, watch it. The Fourth Kind, starring Milla Jovovich and Will Patton as Sheriff August. Is it real or is it government? We're never gonna know until one of them comes down and they come out and start talking to us. But the way the world is right now, last thing we need is an alien invasion. But yes, this is a unique movie. Definitely watch it. I'm curious of what you think. And before I sign off, don't forget to hit subscribe, follow, continue to share us. This is GR Horror Fiend TV. One question before I go. Do you believe? Let me know below. Let me know what you think of this film. This is JR once again. Horror Fiend TV, Beyond Our World. Peace.